What up, Tag family? It's your boy ScooterRay, and I'm here to talk about NXT Spring Breakin'. Roll the intro, please. So, you loved it, admit it.
T.A.G.
That's tag shit.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really want.
What up, everybody? Once again, it's your boy ScooterRay, and I'm here to talk about NXT Spring Breakin'. And if you're new here, this is Quick Tag, where I run down Raw, NXT, Dynamite, SmackDown, Rampage. Try to give it to you 20 minutes or less. I would say 15 minutes, but sometimes it runs a little over, but 20 minutes or less, aka Quick Tag. And tonight we talking about a themed NXT show, NXT Spring Breakin'. It had 2 title matches, but we'll get to that. But starts the show off, Tony D and Stacks, the D'Angelo family, versus Pretty Deadly in the first ever trunk match. And the object is, it's kind of like an ambulance match. You beat your opponents up so much, you throw them both in the trunk, shut it closed, you get the dub. Yeah, so this is what it came down to with the rivalry of Pretty Deadly and the D'Angelo family. Pretty okay match, pretty solid. Stacks and D'Angelo gets the dub. They were saying that because they used an old school classic car, and apparently it was donated by Stacks' uncle. And after Stacks and D'Angelo gets the dub by, of course, tossing them in the trunk, and they drive off later on that. The next match, we get Braun Breaker, Andre Chase. Before, Duke Hudson was trying to pump up Andre Chase, to try to get him to be ready for Duke. Duke, be ready for Duke. Be ready for Braun, because we all know Braun got that dog in. It was a squash match. It was a high functioning squash match. They let Chase try to get some offense in, but this was Braun's to get the dub. I mean, Braun on his war path now, since he lost the title, he's pretty much healed without fully converting him heel, but he's pretty much healed. And so he's just running through people disrespectfully. But Braun gets the dub. Next up, Lyra Valkyria, Cora Jade. Cora's been talking her smack ever since she came back, saying, this is her woman's division. It's only a matter of time before she gets the title. Blah, blah, blah. Lyra Valkyria wasn't feeling it. Here's their match. You kind of saw how this match was going to go. I think the ending was a little weird. Jade tried to bring in her pipe, kendo stick, whatever it was. And there was a weird miscue where the ref, of course the ref sees it. He wrestles to take it from her. And Lyra went for a spin kick, missed. Then Cora hit her finisher. And it was like, I'm sorry. After she hit the spin kick and missed, Cora chop blocked her. But unless I'm wrong now, if I'm am in the wrong, unless WWE has an unwritten rule where you can't chop block an opponent, then okay, I see why the distraction of the weapon turns the ref attention. Boom, hits the chop block, hits her DDT, she gets the dub. Next up, Carmelo Hayes, him, versus Grayson Waller for the NXT title. Yeah, if y'all been following this for a while, y'all know how I'm gonna give it up. This did not feel like no title was gonna change. They had a pretty solid match, but I wouldn't be surprised if Waller gets drafted in the upcoming draft. Um, but towards the end, I don't know. I might have missed something, but it looked like Grayson might have hurt himself because they was also playing into the fact that Grayson hurt Melo's knee. So Melo was playing into his knee, but I think towards the end, I think Grayson might have got a little hurt too. But Melo, nothing but net. Boom, he gets the dub. After that, he gets on the mic and was like, look here, May 29th at Battlegrounds, Braun Breaker, I want no excuses. Mano y mano. Let's run it back. They called him out. Breaker shows up, jumps them both, uh, takes out a trick, and then he spears Carmelo through the where they was off to the side, kind of piece of the set type thing. He speared Melo through that. They stretched Melo out of there. So yeah, so now I'm wondering what I said on last night's quick tag with the whole I wonder they're gonna do the draft, but the picks are not gonna switch shows until because in my head, if Braun gets drafted, he has a title match May 29th, which then kind of makes me feel like, well, we kind of know who's gonna win said title match then. Hmm, hmm, hmm. But we shall see, because you know that WWE draft is Friday, starts Friday on SmackDown. Um, there was an interaction between Joe Coffey. Yes, because Marcus attacked him. Joe Coffey and Joe Gacy, the two Joes. Basically, they're going to have a match next week. If Gacy wins, the Dyad gets a fair one-on-one, fair tag team match. If Coffey wins, then the Dyad can't challenge for the tag titles as long as Gallus got the belts. Yeah. Um, we get our intergender mixed tag match. Uh, Josh Briggs, Fallon Henley versus Brooks Jensen, Kiana James. They've been having this little beef love situation. It came to head in this match. Ultimately, it ended with Brooks tried to cheat using Kiana's purse. Now, I don't know if he was supposed to hit Kiana with the purse, but the way it looked, it whirled right past it, which knocked Kiana off, and she was like, Brooks, like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? Like, whatever. Briggs hit a nasty lariat, gets to 1, 2, 3. Brooks goes to Kiana and try to say like, look, I'm sorry, because let's still be a couple. Let's still do this. She tried to slap him. He grabs her hand and he's like, I thought we loved each other. She was like, love. I don't love you. I don't want nothing to do with you. And she chum deuces to the homie. And while he was standing there, Briggs was right there behind him, and he was like, "Come on back, little brother. Like it's fine. Come on back, little brother." So, yeah, we get the debuting Obafemi, 6'6", 310, just thick. His debut match was against Oro Mensah. They gave it a good go with Oro Mensah trying to get some offense in, but we all know with this, they was having vignettes on Obafemi for like a couple of weeks now, so it would have sucked that they had all this hype and he would have lost. It would have been like Draco Anthony, if y'all remember that name. But ultimately he gets the dub. It's interesting to see how they're gonna book Obafemi because the company, whether it's NXT or WWE, sometimes it's weird having big guys there at the same time. And the reason why I say that is because he's very Von Wagner-esque. So it kind of makes me wonder how that's going to work as far as how they're going to book Obafemi. Hell, maybe Von Wagner might get drafted. We don't know. But yeah. Was there any other vignettes? There was other little vignettes. There was one that Drew Gulak is challenging Wesley next week for the North American Championship. Drew Gulak is like, look, Weston defended that belt over and over and over. I know homie is tired. I'm capitalizing. Which then they showed another segment where Tyler Bate comes to Wesley and was like, look, let your boy just be in your corner because he gonna have Charlie Dempsey. Let me just be in your corner. So we got that. Earlier in the night, Dijak gave Ilya Dragunov that smoke. Like Ilya was walking in the building, big boot to the face, beat down, crushed by a garage door. The three ladies in the main event, they each had their own little segment and staking their own claim. Gigi Dolan came to the announce table, took the headset and was like, JC, you've been popping all that good shit. We gonna finally do this, and don't worry, my little brother is gonna be in the audience so he can see me beat that ass, fam. Scripps had a little vignette that, next week him and Axiom is supposed to see about it. So, and I feel that was everything. Main event time, NXT Women's Championship. The champ, Indy Hartwell versus Tiffany Stratton versus Roxanne Perez. I was thinking personally, with this being the main event fight, I was like, wait, could Indy potentially lose this? It was a very back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Three ladies. At times, it felt like there wasn't going to be a title change, and at times it did. At one point, Tiffany went for a moonsault, and did Tiffany do it, or was it Roxanne? I think it was Tiffany. Tiffany did a moonsault to the outside to Roxanne and Indy. Everybody landed kind of awkwardly, and that prompted Indy to have an ankle injury, and they carted her off. So it essentially stayed a one-on-one between Roxanne and Tiffany. They went back and forth. Eventually, Indy comes back there hobbling. More match. I forgot. Tiffany, did she hit the moonsault? I can't remember if she hit. I think she did hit the moonsault to Roxanne, but Indy pulled her out. And then Indy did what I like to say with Karrion Kross, that cerebellum. But she did it with like the sliding elbow to the back, and then she pinned Roxanne 1, 2, 3 to retain. Solid match. It wouldn't have had surprised me if they would have changed champions, because then I would have been like, okay, maybe Indy is getting drafted, or who knows, maybe Roxanne or Tiffany could get drafted. And then we cut back to D'Angelo and Stacks, and they insinuated that Pretty Deadly is sleeping with the fishes, that they dumped their bodies in some body of water. And now they're like, it's time for us to get the tag team go Gallus, and they drive off into the night, and that's how NXT Spring Breakin ends. Not a bad night. It was one of their theme shows like they like to do every now and then. None of the titles truly felt like they were in jeopardy. So, like I said, maybe with the women's triple threat, because depending on how this draft goes, but definitely I had it was no doubt ever, like none, like never during that Carmelo and Grayson match that I was like, okay, Grayson might take this. No, it's Carmelo's first defense. Come on. But yeah, now we on that road to Battleground. And also, too, we're on that road to the draft. So we don't know what shakeups could happen in NXT. Maybe some people get drafted out of NXT, finally graduate to Raw SmackDown. But hey, we will see come Friday. I've been ScooterRay. Thank you for tuning in. Shout outs to my brethren, my bros, Lip Dizzle, Jaeger Bombastic, Juggernaut097. Whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. So you can just get inundated in the tag. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just come. Come over to the tag side of things. All are welcome. All are welcome. But thank y'all for tuning in. Once again, let's feel ScooterRay. And if you're old, if you're returning, if you're new, one thing we like to do before we sign out is hit y'all with that too sweet, and we gonna hit y'all with the catchphrase. Ladies and gentlemen out there, whatever you do, don't forget to tag out. Peace.